got it on the wrong screen here, but
that's how bad it was.
That's how bad it was. We're not prepared. We are so back. We are live here on a Monday night. It's Real Bucs Talk here. Michael Plus, your host. Joined as always, my co-host Mark Ramirez. And Mark, man, it's we are fully back to being a Bucs life. Like this is, man. Those 3 years with Brady. I think we have to really appreciate getting a Super Bowl, obviously. But now we're back to just like looking at mock drafts already in November, looking at potential coaching staff hires. Like, when we went into this season, we thought, okay, 7 wins minimum, just because based on the talent we have. But I think we overshot as far as the coaching blunders that we're going to continue to have on this team that showed itself last year. And we thought, the offense coordinator being changed out, that will solve a lot. Just hasn't worked at all. But coaching, player execution, it's been an issue all year.
I mean, I'll say this. It's frustrating as hell. Do I think we're as bad as we're playing? No, because, this game, let's look at it. We've been bitching and complaining we can't score. We score, and our defense decides to say, you know what, second half, who the hell cares? We're not going to show up.
Yeah.
First half, they only allowed 10 points. Okay, we allowed 20. We still won the damn game. They bluntly just did not show up second half. Todd Bowles just, I guess I heard it from What the Buck. He put that he probably has nightmares from the zero coverage against the Rams that cost them a chance at potentially back-to-back championships. Maybe that's in the back of his head. That's why he always plays so much damn zone. You heard his press conference. Oh no, they just need to play their spots. If they're not doing it consistently throughout the whole second half, stop calling it. Do something to rush the pass, because every time Devin White went in, good things happened. And Devin White's going forward, and I'm not blaming Devin White for the terrible coverage by Carlton Davis and Zion McCollum. I'm talking just find a way where you can manufacture pressure, because you were just letting a rookie quarterback just dial you up for career records. NFL records were made against this Buccaneer defense. It's supposedly pretty good by a defensive mastermind. No, like that game, this game was lost by coaching and not by the offensive coordinator. The offensive coordinator did his job. He scored points, scored with 46 seconds left, put it in the defensive coordinator, who is your head coach, hands, and you couldn't do it. And don't get me on the clock management by the refs. Yes, that's wrong too, but still, you had a job to do. You didn't do it. Go ahead.
No, I'm going to pull up this tweet here by Greg Allman. I don't know if you guys can see that, but let me see if I can zoom in here a little bit so you guys can actually see what's on the screen. But this is how bad the pass defense has been since the bye week. 335 yards per game. That's awful. 118.4 passer rating. Not good. Worse than the league. 9 touchdowns against 1 interception. Second most and second least. Not good. 72.8% completion percentage. And that's second to the 49ers, which is surprising. They're giving up more than the Buccaneers as far as completion percentage. Crap. Yeah, it's crap. Yeah. So, you have a defense where the rush and the coverage haven't worked together all year. And, I talk about, this defense was in the top 10 as far as scoring defense before this game. They were number 1 in red zone defense coming into this game before. And that's all great. But at the same time, you were giving up massive yards to teams that shouldn't be moving the football on you at all. I can understand Detroit, but at the same time, you gave up big touchdowns on 3rd and long. 3rd and long has been an issue all year. We can't stop them. And then against the Falcons, you allow a Desmond Ridder offense just continue to move up and down the field like it was nothing. And you were fortunate to get 3 turnovers inside the red zone, or that game would have been a blown out game, blown out loss. And I get it. Your offense hasn't helped you out in these last 3 games besides this one in Houston. So again, it's a compliment of all those things. But let me ask you this. If the Buccaneers offense scored in those games, what makes you think the Buccaneers defense would have got stops to hold the lead if we did have a lead, or, the score was higher scoring in that aspect. I don't have any confidence that we would have got stops if we needed to.
But that's what's frustrating. I mean, I've said in the past, like the defense, I'm not as worried about. And then this blunder, like this is flat out just terrible on all fronts. Like you watched the first half and the second half, two totally different defenses. And don't tell me, oh, the Texans just came out with perfect game planning. No, it's like they just, first of all, gave up. Second of all, piss poor effort. And you see guys like Levante David, Kalijah Cansey, Antoine Field Jr. These guys are like trying to fly around to the ball. And then you see what Carlton Davis was doing. So I'm McCollum just being lazy. Like the pass before the touchdown, what the hell are you doing? Just don't get beat deep. Allow anything underneath. Allow 10 yards. Okay, cool. Do not get beat for 20 yards down the field and then blame D. Delaney. No. Like you have one assignment, keep him in bounds. You were doing it correctly. So just Carlton Davis being beat by a tight end one-on-one and then giving up the touchdown to a rookie. That is, and then earning $17 million a year. Forget that shit. You need to wake up in a big way. And I mean, we've been blamed the offense time after time after time, and then you put up 39. That's embarrassing. That is embarrassing for a veteran-led team. And don't give me, okay, Jamel Dean went down. Okay, cool. But he gave up a touchdown to go down. So don't say it's, because Jamel Dean went down. These corners haven't been playing good like all year. And I know you're going to tell me it's because they don't do well in zone. Yes, they don't, but you still got to be able to play it. You can't just be in man the whole entire game. You got to be
for sure.
At times when he's telling you to do something, you got to be able to do it. I mean, it may not be like the best, like 99 rating on Madden, whatever the hell people want to reference it, but you got to be at least a 75, something. And yes, you help it out with a blitz or a four-man rush. Four-man rush isn't getting in. Kalijah Cansey is like the only one that was getting any pressure this game. And every time you saw Devin White go in, it was either pass thrown away, man's on the move. It works. Keep doing it. I was joking with you about it like yesterday that we need to use Devin White literally in like the James Harrison role. They're exact same height, exact same weight, both jacked dudes. Just freaking send in Devin White all the time. I know he wants to be a middle linebacker calling the plays and everything, but the dude is so much better when he can just pin his ears back and get after it. I know he's not the best at pass rush moves, but he doesn't necessarily need to. Just win with brute strength because it's working whenever he goes in. And when he's moving fast, we do well. When he's running backwards, we do terrible. So find a way. And offensively, he's learning. I'm not going to say the season's terribly over. If we lose this game, I've already kind of given up, but the nail's in the coffin if we lose to the Titans. That's pretty much set in stone. That's all it is.
Yeah, there's just a lot of things that are going wrong, and there doesn't seem to be a lot of answers to fix things. I think process is backwards. Defensive process and offensive process is not there, and that starts with the coaching. I don't think you're playing aggressive enough on both sides of the ball. Clock management is an issue, especially before the half and at end of the games. It's an issue. And then also just not good enough execution by your players, especially your so-called star players that are supposed to be the guys to get things done, and they're not getting plays done. Like we haven't got anything from, production wise from Shaq Barrett or JTS, who's supposed to be this guy, stepping up as a pass rusher. But a lot of people are saying he's just an athlete and not a football player. And you know what? Right now it looks correct. And you're just not getting enough from the front four. And then your coverage behind that is just not working together. So, my thing is when I look at the defense yesterday, if zone is not working, and obviously you're not disrupting any of the timing that the offense is putting out there, you got to find a way to change that up and disrupt the timing. Go into a cover two press man, disrupt these receivers off the line, and make Stroud hold the ball even longer. So that way he has to go off of his first read and go somewhere else. and you find ways to get pressure with your front four at some point because the timing is being disrupted. Do something like that. You have to stay aggressive, and even if the blitzes weren't working, you got to keep calling them because you got to do something to,
that was his comment. With the blitz
yeah,
work once, we got beat once, so we got away.
no,
Bullshit.
you got to keep going. And to your Devin White point, I mean, you know how I feel about Devin White. I just don't think he's good. And that's another thing to coaching. Like, where is the player development? Where are these guys getting better? You bring in this George Edwards coach that you think is going to help your edge rushers, and really they haven't been producing this year. They haven't been getting better. Like, so where's the progress there? And Devin White, is supposed to be better in his zone drops, and maybe he is, but still, like, it's not happening. So let the guy go play Bobby Boucher style, see ball, get ball, and let him get after the quarterback, because that's all he can really do is run fast straight downhill. Other than that, it's a mess. So, make it simple for these guys. If Carlton Davis is not doing well in zone, obviously he can't see. The other guys are not seeing it well. You have one safety who's trying to do everything, and that's Antoine Winfield, but he can't do it all by himself. So you got to figure something out where you can play to these guys' strengths.
You know what? I almost want to go back and look at this when we get coaches film to see. I think they just went away from Antoine Winfield Jr. I mean, look at the touchdowns. It was just wherever Antoine Winfield Jr. was the opposite side of that field.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where they went every time. It was D. Delaney was involved around it, and it didn't matter which cornerback it was. It was just like, oh, they're going to mess up the damn zone. Don't worry. Just don't go towards Antoine Winfield Jr. because they tried it in the first half. They almost got bit a couple times, and then I never saw him around the ball anymore because it looks like they saw him there. Okay, I'm going to go over here. And that's sad. It is that honestly sad. But when you don't get pressure, that's what happens. He says all the right things. When he says, pressure helps out the secondary helps out the pressure. But you're not doing anything to help that in between. You're just stating facts, but you got to manufacture pressure to help out your secondary too. I mean, it's drop back anyone to let Devin White go in. Because, I mean, just that's what it's going to have to be, because he can't go backwards. On man, he's not bad. You just got to make it easier on him and use him as a weapon that he is. That's what Gus Edwards used Chandler Parsons with. They finally benched Ryan Neal. Yeah, they deservedly so. They need to start this comment up here. Bud Campbell, I've started a petition for 0 snap count for Vaughn. He shouldn't even be on the damn team.
Yeah. I mean, when you have nine touches to Chase Edmonds and Keyshawn Vaughn combined, and you only get 2 yards out of those 9 touches, that is just overall bad and wasted plays. And when you have a series that goes 3 straight times to Keyshawn Vaughn, that's no good. Like, you just wasted a drive there, especially when you're facing a defense that couldn't stop Mike Evans or Chris Godwin to save their life. Like, this was another pass defense that we could have thrown on all day if we would have called it correctly and stayed aggressive with passing on first down. And to get away from the defense just for a second, offensive philosophy is still broken. Like, you can't continue to do this run, pass setup every freaking drive. Even when we scored, they still did that shit to set up third downs. Even though we convert them, make it harder on ourselves. We actually converted them and ended up scoring. But there was way too many times where you tried that and it's just automatic punt. Like, automatic punt, here we go. Give the ball back to our supposedly defense because we think we can make a stop. No, get the whatever out of here. That's not happening. So, process on both sides of the ball needs to be fixed. I mean, Dave has to understand where the weakness is and then continue to attack it. Like, they couldn't stop Mike all day. You got to keep going to that horse. And when Cade Otton out targets both Chris and Mike Evans, like, that is not good. Even though Cade Otton had a great game, yes, but still, like, you shouldn't be running flea flickers and throwing the ball downfield to Cade Otton. Like, that's not good offense right there.
I mean, I'll give some pushback to that. I'm going to say I fully agree with you with the double runs. That's just playing the third down. That's just a mess.
Yeah.
What I will give advantage to is they actually did attack weaknesses by hitting Kate Otten multiple times. I mean, I didn't think he'd even be able to get an option to get a pass based on how he's been playing recently. He showed up in a big way. They did still continue to double Mike Evans frequently. I did like the Trey Palmer coming up big, even though the fumble where Mike Evans had to return it or recover it. They're spreading the ball around. I like the way he moved the ball. Do I like the way he runs multiple times? No. I still think the offense was moving how it should have moved, how you should have moved against a team like this. And 37 points, any other game probably wins you the game.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So I'm not going to get mad at what that was. That's actually a bright spot of this damn game. The offense moved whenever the hell they wanted to. The only time they didn't move is when we got a damn flag or we ran the ball consistently twice to dumbass players. Keyshawn Vaughn does not need to get one touch, let alone be active on a Sunday.
Yeah. Well, my biggest thing, and even though the offense did score 37, which was great, the process stopped you from scoring more, and you had to settle for field goals because of the process. So if the process is better, you take that first drive and you score a touchdown. You know, there are certain things where you have to understand how to attack a certain defense, especially when the defense is giving you something. You find ways to get the ball to your best players. Either that's Mike or Chris. Like, you find ways to get them involved. And I understand, yes, maybe you have a matchup here with Kate On, or you have a matchup underneath with Rashad White, who had a great game. Rashad played very well. Again, another great game from him. Yeah, I mean, over 100 yards total from scrimmage, 2 touchdowns, played outstanding.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, you can't waste these drives. Like, the drives settling for 55-yard field goals and like getting these field goals, yes, they're awesome, great by the kicking job, you know, special teams again, but you just can't waste those opportunities to have touchdowns when they're there for the taking. And that's something where the process that gets lost and you waste drives. So you just can't do that, especially when, you know, your defense is not on it. I know you go into halftime up 17-10. You're not expecting the defense to give up 29 points in the second half. At one point you're up 20-10. You have a 10-point lead. So yeah, I mean, it's super frustrating, especially when you have one side of the ball finally figure some things out, get some energy, get some momentum, and then everything falls apart on the other side of the ball because we don't know, A, how to adjust, and B, understand how to execute what's being asked.
And then Noah Brown is slow. He got a 75-yard touchdown. Think about that.
Pull up his stats, like, if you get a moment, because this guy is not.
I couldn't believe it.
This guy is not good. Like, he is just not a good receiver. He ends up getting 153 yards on the day. And I mean, he led the team in yards. Obviously, he had the big catch, 75-yarder that should never have happened. But 6 targets, 6 catches, 25 yards per catch. That's ridiculous. And then Dalton Schultz, I mean, 10 catches for 130 yards, beats Carlton Davis like he stole something. I mean, and then Tank Dell just has his way. And Tank Dell had drops in this game, so he could have had even a bigger day. I mean,
and then Stroud misses him on a wide open, just fly out. Like, that would have been a 90-yard touchdown pass.
So yeah, it's just, it wasn't good at all. Like, man, and that's what I was kind of afraid of, because I was like watching when you watch the first half, you're like, oh man, Texans are just missing plays right now. If they hit those plays in the second half, it's over. And that's what they did. Like, they took full advantage of what was there.
And I don't even want to see his name associated with Bucs no more.
Either him or Chase Edmonds.
I mean,
like,
just Keyshawn Vaughn. Every time you see him, they keep giving opportunities, and then his crybaby fit where he left the team for a day and then came back.
Yeah, that should have been an automatic cut.
Yes, like, BA should have come in from his rocking chair and said, "No, I've cut a guy for doing less, so get rid of his ass."
Right, parked in the wrong spot.
Right, like we're not here for crybaby back bitches. We're here to win games, and you're giving a guy. Oh yeah, so
yeah. And it's also another like thing that Dave has to learn. Like it's a tell when he comes into the game, he's probably getting the football, and that's a problem. Like especially when they take out Mike and Chris off the field at the same time, and you have the young receivers, the puppy pound in there. Like you have to throw the football when they're in there. Like you can't continue to be this, one dimension or predictable is what I'm trying to say. And that has to stop. And but again, just too many wasted opportunities with those guys in there and not taking advantage of what you had. But I mean, the moral of the story, I mean, just not good coaching altogether, player execution, terrible. It just was a mess. And I put it out there on Twitter yesterday. I was like, this is a fireable offense. This was not good. This is a game you had to win. You already lost 3 in a row. You had a coach who talked about it wasn't going to snowball. Well, guess what, Todd Bowles? It's freaking snowballed. Like you already lost 4 in a row. You're on track to lose 5 in a row to another rookie quarterback, to a team that is worse than the Texans and the Titans. Like, I mean, you lose this week at Ray J.
And you're losing the week after.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't give a shit. They're worse than us in the past 4 weeks.
You're yeah, you're easily going to be 3-7. Then you play an Indianapolis Colts team who's probably way better coached than we are and understand how to attack teams. Like, just it's not a good sign right now for the Buccaneers, and it's frustrating because starting 3-1. And now you're at 3-5. It's not good. And I know, there were some people that talked about, oh, well, the Bucs were 3-5 last year. Well, guess what? It's not the same year. It's not the same team. You don't have Tom Brady at quarterback to save you in last minute games. Defensively, obviously not as good right now. So, I mean,
which is troubling though. I mean,
yeah,
all your starters back pretty much.
Right.
I mean, and this was your most healthy defensive roster in a while.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do jack squat to stop a nosebleed. Like you made them one dimensional. You got them where you want them, and you stick to zone. I don't get it. It just makes zero sense for a defensive mastermind coach to do shit like this. And I did like in his press conference, he got a little bit heated, saying, "No, it's a communication issue." You know what? No, it's not a communication issue. Just guys aren't flat out busting coverages. I was like, oh, what? Good. Yeah. Call it how you see it, because that's what we want to see. I want to see you get pissed off, yell at a damn guy, bench a guy, make something happen to make sure you guys win. It's a team game. Tom Brady said it. Baker's been saying the same thing. It's the ultimate team game. It looked bad to see Baker. He's like, I finally got us to in a winning position, all like 46 seconds. Then he looks like, he's like, what the hell do I got to do to win?
Yeah.
Then turn the ball over. I did everything right.
Yeah, he played a good game. I mean, to
told me to do.
Yeah, to speak on the positives, I mean, Baker played well. I thought the offensive line did a pretty good job. Offensively, Baker, Kate Otten, Rashad White, offensive line all played well. Obviously Mike did his thing when he got targeted. So those were the standouts. I thought defensively, the only guys that really played well was Kalijah Kancey, Levante David, outside one missed tackle. But again, it's a hard play to make. Antoine Winfield continues to play well, but other than that, it was not good. All the way around, just not enough, unfortunately, for the offense or defense. It wasn't where it needed to be as a team. Just it's sad that you continue to get out coached and out executed on either offense or defense. You just can't have a complete game right now, and that's the issue.
And like people who say like they're not talented, no, this is a talented team. But if you don't know, like, I've used this reference before. If you're like you're a chef, you're not a chef. You're an average Joe going against an Iron Chef or whatever, Bobby Flay, whatever the hell these guys are. You're gonna lose if you don't know how to use those fucking tools, or you're a carpenter, you don't know how to use a saw. Give him a damn nail gun and just shoot it right through his hand, right? So it's like we're just not using them correctly. Offensively, they started using it correctly. They just messed up with sequencing. I think he's getting better. He's understanding areas of weakness. I think it's a bright spot. It's something that we can progress towards.
Mm-hmm.
But defensively, how do you regress that bad? That's why we're like, you can't depend on any game being a winnable game right now because it's just so inconsistent on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
Like we may think, oh, good, this is a turning point for the offense. No, we could probably score 6 points next game and get no touchdowns, just 2 field goals again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anything's consistent. And then the defense just allows 39 points. You're going to say this is an outlier. I hope to God it is. But to be honest, I don't know. This could be a morale shift terrible, and you get the snowball just gets even worse because we're 3-5. They're going to keep saying the same shit about the division. We're close.
Mm-hmm.
Can't do anything, and it almost feels like there's no backbone in this team. And the veteran leadership, my ass. Like Levante is your veteran, and he was pissed to shit because everyone behind him didn't do anything. It's embarrassing. I'd be just as pissed as he was at the end of that game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's what's the frustrating thing is like the veterans on this team. Again, it's another wasted year because again, coaching's not good enough on both sides of the ball. Certain players are not playing or doing their jobs. Like, and that's what's frustrating because like you look at the secondary, Carlton Davis, Jamel Dean, Antoine Winfield, those guys have been together for a while now, since 2020. They were on the Super Bowl team, and for whatever reason, just outside of Winfield, the other two are just not playing up to par, or not playing how they've shown in the past. Like, and these are coverages that they've done before a million times and can't execute it. And then up front with, Shaq Barrett, Vita obviously has been playing pretty solid, but just not enough from that unit up front, not getting after the quarterback.
There was not much push from Vita at all this game.
I mean,
because there was no push. Their whole offensive line's backups.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yep.
Besides, I think the end tackle, but still, geez. Chancey was playing how you're supposed to play against a damn defensive line like that. Everyone else, I don't know what the hell they were doing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's just no push up the middle, just not rushing as a unit. And I love all the comments in the chat. Everyone's just saying everyone's trash, that's awesome. That's great. I mean,
that's how you're gonna feel when you give up 39 points because they all trash.
Yeah, I mean, I understand, and it's rightfully so to be, negative because again, when you lose 4 in a row, I mean, obviously nothing is really going your way. And you're just not doing enough. Guys aren't playing well. Coaching is not doing anything to fix it. There's just a lot of things that are going wrong for this football team. So
unreasonable things, literally just throwing it out all over the place.
Yeah, he's just let it all hang out.
Right? I mean, let's put it this way.
Yeah.
Bowles, I know he's already written off in your book. I think he's hanging by a thread on mine. Yeah. But this one game, this is like pretty much your ticket out, or barely like Byron Leftwich with Tom Brady last year. Tom Brady winning last second games.
Yeah.
This would be like that. Like, okay, maybe we'll hold on to you a little bit longer. Because after the last night or yesterday's game, I was like, fire his ass now. Like that is all on him. And I like how they consistently ask, do you want to give over the reins of calling the plays? Because clearly something's going on. He goes, no, I'm not thinking about that right now. Sure. I mean, if something's not fixed up this next game, you better either just step down or just give away your play call duties because it's not working. And clearly either someone's not respecting you, not getting the proper message across. And if it is getting across and they're just not listening, you need to bench someone and put someone in that's going to listen to you. It's not hard to just run your game plan.
Yeah.
It's just stay in your zone. If it's that simple of just staying in your zone, someone wasn't listening. So you got to do something about it. I mean, he tried it with D. Delaney being there, but clearly secondary's trash right now.
Yeah, it's just not working. And And, you know, looking at this next matchup coming up against the Titans, I mean, Titans are not a good football team. Like, their offensive line is putrid. Now, granted, against our defense, they'll probably look outstanding, and you know, Will Levis will have all day to throw, and you know, be able to make throws downfield and hit DeAndre Hopkins for you know 60-yard bombs. I'm sure of it. And then you know, for this game, our off or my you know our offense will probably look worse this week and probably fail to score above 20 points. So that's just how it's going for this team right now. It's one thing or the other. Can't get anything right. Can't find any consistency. It's either you know Baker missing throws, and now I'm talking about like in past games during this 4-game losing streak. Like yesterday, he was fine, but you know it's either Baker missing reads or missing throws. It's you know penalties. It's just a lot of different factors that they just can't find a way to just operate consistently. And it seems like they can't overcome mistakes. They're just not good enough as far as like finding ways to overcome the little mistakes that continue to hinder them you know, week in and week out. And again, that starts again another thing with coaching. Like you see these other teams, the games just don't look that hard like it looks for the Buccaneers. Like, I mean, look at Minnesota, for instance. We were talking about Minnesota, right? Earlier today off air. Like they started 0-3. Guess where they are now? 5-4.
Mhm.
Because they have good coaching. They understand what their team is. They don't try to do too much. They don't try to be cute about it.
Quarterback.
Yeah, they have what's his name? Joshua Dobbs as QB. This guy just came in, and guess what Kevin O'Connell was doing? He was basically relaying the play in the huddle so the quarterback could execute it properly. That's coaching. That's understanding what you have as a team. Now, granted, they have a great offensive line. Their O line's pretty damn good, but they just know who they are. They find their weapons. They scheme guys open. Defensively, they play aggressive. They're going to come after you, blitz after blitz after blitz, no matter what happens. So they have identities. They have identities on both sides of the ball, and they play to it. And that's what I'm seeing around the league. Like these other teams, they just find ways to overcome the mistakes. Now, some of that is elite quarterback play, and we don't have that. So when you have that, you can overcome some things, but they either have elite quarterback or they have elite pass rusher, you know, certain things that you can lean on to overcome these mistakes that we keep on making.
I mean, I'm going to step up for the offense on this one. Our offensive line is not as bad as people are saying in the chat or in general. We have
offensive line was fine.
We have two of the top tackles in the league.
Yeah.
This is credited to Player Football Focus. I think everyone's heard of them. They put like, Luke Gedicke's actually playing that damn well. We've done a damn film study on him almost every damn week. Bach is improving week by week. I mean, he looks bad at some top points, but then sometimes he's good. He's a rookie from a small school. There's going to be growing pains. He's undersized. He's undersized. He's never going to be that well. Jeffrey Simmons is going to whoop his ass this next game against the Titans. That's going to mess up our offense. Do we score over 20? I don't know. The running game's not going to be working well at all based off of that. But, I mean, can Canales continue to learn? I shouldn't be running the ball this many damn times, especially if I'm facing a good run front. Start getting it out earlier. That's what I want to see. He did well in this game because the Texans don't have a big guy in the middle that can stop the run.
Right.
Let me see. Rashad White had 20 carries.
Yeah. He
realized Keyshawn Vaughn sucked after giving it to him 2 consecutive times. And then I never really saw him. Good. At least he learned that. Yeah. Maybe he gets cut this week. We all can hope, right? And someone was, what did he say? A petition to get his ass out. That can't be NFL play. That is not NFL standard. But Canales improving, that's a bright spot. Will it be consistent? That's to be seen. Todd Bowles is the biggest story of this game. I'm hoping it's an outlier, but you never know. Because and I couldn't stand when I saw Trevor Sikkema say, "Oh, he's just different." Buck fans can't be too mad. The game before he played the Panthers, he had one play over 20 yards. He got one play over 20 yards, like literally the first play of the game or
I
first.
think he only had 140 yards passing or something like that. It
Don't
was
tell me he's different. It was just a shit show of performance by your defense and defensive mastermind. No, like that was not just a different. Yeah, he did some good passes. Don't get me wrong, but literally some of them were gifted. Like it's just how bad can you be? That's how bad you can be. I'm not saying he's a pile of shit. I'm saying he's a good quarterback, but you made a good, like an average to good quarterback look like a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, and again, that's the Todd Bowles special right there. I mean, you made Desmond Ridder look better than he is. You know, you've made a lot of quarterbacks look better than he is in the past with Todd Bowles at the helm. Like it's not good. And now you're facing another subpar quarterback in Will Levis, or I shouldn't say subpar, but he's a rookie. And again, like you should find a way to beat this team in the Titans. Like they don't have a good offensive line. They get blown off the ball. Now they were facing Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh got crazy amount of pressures on Will Levis. They got a lot of sacks. Like you should be able to find ways to get after the quarterback this week. If you can't, then obviously there's something wrong, whether it's players or just scheme or what have you. It's just got to find a way to be better defensively. You know the Titans are going to run the football, so I guess that kind of helps us. Will we be prepared to tackle Derrick Henry? Probably. I think we'll probably be ready to tackle him. But still, it's like, can you just play a complete game where offensively you're not putting yourself in a hole, where you're not playing behind the sticks and playing for third down? Like, Dave, please, Dave. Like, there's no reason. There's no reason to play. There's no reason to play for third down. You can make a first down on first down. Like that is allowed. That is okay. You can do it. We've seen you do it with play action pass, throw to Mike, first down automatic. Like, let's continue to do that. If they can't stop it, don't stop doing it. You know, that's what you have to do in this league. That is something. And if they now defensively, if they keep doing something and they're having success, hey, guess what, Todd? Don't call the same defense. Call something different to change it up. Like that is common sense. That's coaching. That's what you try to do to stop the other team. That is what is needed from this organization going forward. Like you got to find answers and help these guys out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'll say this. That was a terrible, terrible defensive game in the second half. It blows my mind when you see the first half compared to the second. Like it just blows my freaking mind. And if you're gonna sit back in zones, complaining that when we blitz, we get bit, you gave up almost 500 yards passing. I don't think it really matters. I'd rather you get bit but have more opportunities where you're getting sacks or forced throws.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to be that accurate if it's like that. Not every quarterback is Matthew Stafford going to beat you deep to win the game. Okay. So get over this little worry you have from way back when, if that truly is it, and start sending the dogs in and be the guy that you used to be, because I don't want to see you sit back in zone at all. I don't care if we have a 30-point lead. If we ever get that this year, because that is shameful. And as Plus says, a fireable offense. It truly is.
Yeah, I mean, be what made you, the defense coordinator in this league that people feared. Like, be that guy that you were.
This is funny.
Yeah.
So 0-4 since we brought back the creamsicle.
I mean, obviously, that's the issue. But but to Todd Bowles, like you got to be the guy that made your defense successful, especially in 2020, 2021. You were creative with your blitzes. You continued to do different things. What happened to sending the safeties? What happened to corner blitzes, dropping guys into zone, Vita Vea dropping back? I mean, do that stuff, be exotic, be different, because again, that is what has worked for you in the past. You don't sit back. You got to play to your calling card, which is aggressive. Todd Bowles used to blitz 50% of the time. Like that is what you do. Stand by it. That's 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 the identity. And if you're trying to do something that obviously is not working success wise, like you said 2 weeks ago, that the guy's eyes are in zone are not good. Well, guess what, Todd? Then maybe you shouldn't play zone that much. Lower that percentage to 30%. Play man coverage the rest of the time. Like, it's rocket science.
Yeah. And old Rich 0665, a team is always a reflection of its head coach. Attitude reflect leadership, right?
Mm-hmm.
Old remember the Titans quote right there. Yep, there it is. Boom. Bud Canvas right there. And it's true though. I mean, if you're not showing much emotion or fight to win, you think your player's going to do that? There's only so much rah-rah Devin White can give and passion Devin and Levante can give on the field. Your coach has to literally put down the hammer at times. And they say, oh, he's different behind closed doors. Well, hell, while you're on the field, I want you to get in someone's face because they're not listening at all. At all. It does not. Isaiah McCollum played terrible this game. He had one good tackle on that last drive to force the guy in bounds, and they had to take their timeout. Okay. I don't know what the hell he's playing in. That was terrible.
Yeah.
So they need to get coached up heavily this week. And let's see. Do I think anything is possible? Yeah. Do I think we have a chance to win? Yeah. Hell, every team has a chance to win. It's any given Sunday. I just have no confidence in them, me chalking up every one game as a win anymore, based off of how inconsistent both sides of the ball are. Well, your special team's pretty good. You got a damn kicker.
Yeah, I mean, if you can bring up the schedule, I mean, you look at the rest of the games. I mean, if we had any type of consistency on both sides of the ball, you could say the Buccaneers still have a chance to win 6 out of the rest, 6 out of 9 games moving forward. But I mean, just looking at it, obviously 49ers, Jacksonville is likely a loss. But you look at all the other matchups, they can all win those games if they do what they need to do. But that's the problem. We just probably not going to happen. Yeah, 6 out of 9 in no universe. I agree. It's probably not going to happen. So
I don't blame you for saying that, but realistically, it should be possible. Right. But it's not going to happen. I mean, we're saying that because they're younger quarterbacks. Look what a younger quarterback just did. So Will Levis, 500 yards. Bryce Young, who hasn't had a really breakout game yet, 500 yards. Jordan Love.
Yeah, I mean, the Panthers game should be automatic wins for us, but I don't think they are anymore. So that's a problem right there. Like, you lose against Carolina, I mean, Todd should be fired the next day. Like, the whole staff should be fired the next day if you lose to Carolina.
Like, I know we're joking that the Glazers don't fire people in season. No, you make a change for that.
Yeah, especially that home game. Like, that's at home on December 3rd. You got to find a win that one. And at that point, we're probably heading into that game at 3-7. So I mean, you got to find a way to win that one.
Also, I was going to say this. I'm strongly debating going to this game. If I do, that's going to be my last game of the season, especially if they lose. If they lose,
probably the same for me.
Because that's where one thing where, as a fan, if you want to get change, you got to make it known how you're going to affect the owners the most. Affect their pocketbook. I mean, or literally don't fill the stadium. Have them be embarrassed of what they put on to display and make a change that way. And voice your opinions by not putting your ass in the seat.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be pretty empty this week against the Titans. I'm sure it'll probably have like 60,000 there. It won't be a sellout. Probably be very similar to the Atlanta Falcons game. But I want to bring up this. Let me bring up this tweet as well by Josh Capo. Let me see if I can share it real quick. This is not good. Like, so he says last year the Bucs defense allowed 50 passes of 20 plus yards in 17 games. This year, through 8 games, they've already allowed 36. They're on pace to shatter last year's mark by 27. So that means they're on pace to allow 77 passes of 20 yards or more. Not good. Not great, Bob. Not great.
Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it works out for him. I mean,
yeah, not good.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. How many were in that game? How many were in this game alone?
Oh, in this game alone, I think they allowed. I think he put that stat up as well.
It's 4+ because there's 4 of them all had 20+ yards.
Yeah, I think it was crazy number.
5. Hell, Noah Brown averaged 25 yards, so yes.
Yeah, there's 6 right there. Yeah, I forget if he put the numbers up. I don't see it now, but I think it was crazy number. It had to be at least 9 or so. It wasn't good. That's all I'll say. It was bad.
Yeah, well, in-house, they need to make some changes because it's regressing on one side, progressing on the other. When is there going to be an equilibrium where they can rely on each other? Like the Vikings game, first game of the year, looked like the best played game. Other than that, it's been trash all around. Like it's just being worse and worse and worse and worse. Yeah, I mean, I'll give Bowles credit. I think he will fix it up for the Titans game. Because literally this is the biggest turning point game, I'll say.
Yeah. And that's the issue though, Mark. It's like our defense will play well this week, but guess what? The offense won't. So again, it's one way or the other. Just can't get things right on both sides of the ball because, like I said in the beginning, the process is not there. If you don't have a process where you can count on this to be consistent week in and week out, a process that will help your players execute at a higher level week in and week out, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. It's like you just keep going in and wave your hands, be like, what are we doing? What are we doing here? And frankly, they don't know. That's the issue right there.
It's like miracle. They don't know what to do.
They don't know what to do. That's what's going on.
Oh my! You know what? Well, let's check this out. Let's check defenses. It's just something we took a peek at it last week.
Yeah.
Where the hell are?
Well, let's see. Rushing defense.
Oh, the Titans' run defense isn't good.
Yeah, they're middle of the pack, so they're right there.
Actually, wow,
115.
Wow.
Yeah, 115.
Wow. Okay. Well, let's see, Dave.
He's gonna do the run pass all day. Like that's gonna be happening. Run pass, and here we go. Keyshawn Vaughn in the slot. Let's do it. Let's ride.
Oh shit! Like
yeah. Chase Edmonds in the backfield. We're going to maximize them both on the same time. It's going to be lovely.
Lip balm galore.
Yep.
Hey, but I mean, I can't get mad at him. I think he's learning. I think he's progressing. I think that's
trying. I mean, the shot play. Yeah. I was going to say the shot play to Cade Otton to put us in the lead. That was a great call because again, that was the matchup. That was a good matchup to go after. There was good things, no doubt about it. Like the play action pass to Mike Evans down the field. That was a great play, great setup. They did runs out of shotgun with Rachaad White that actually worked. Like those are the runs you have to do. Like counter runs, get guys moving, make it easy on the running back, running out of shotgun against 6-man boxes. That's the key. Now, what he needs to learn is don't run the ball when there's 7 or more in the box because guess what? It's not going to work, Dave. So don't do it.
I mean, I know he said he's going to be stubborn with it, but he's stubborn with the run, but smartly. Like run out of your shotgun like you were saying. Run in, and when there's a 5-man box.
Yeah.
Yes, let's do that consistently. But if they have 7 or 8 guys there, what the hell are you thinking?
No.
Don't think it's a simulated rush. I don't give a shit if it's simulated. They're right on the line. Don't do it.
Yeah. You got to audible out.
And that's another thing. So in years past, Tom Brady would audible out of things. I don't think Baker's just saying, okay, this is what they're going to make me run. I'm going to do it. I've seen him kind of, it looks like he motions, okay, we're going to run it to a different place, but I don't think he's really optioning out of things.
Yeah.
Necessarily. Is it because he trusts Canales' scheme a little too much? Maybe, or maybe he's just them getting it together and understanding, okay, maybe I should just change it to this now. And everyone, but then again, like what they were saying, it's a communication issue with them too. The offensive line not really understanding where to go. And that's why the runs were messing up. So if he audibles it, he's like, shit, I'm going to mess it up because they're not going to know what the hell to do. So let me just run it and go. But I mean, huge bright spot. I like Baker a lot. He shows a lot of grit, a lot of passion, a lot of heart. He didn't do anything wrong in this game. Like I usually say, oh, there was one that could have been an interception, could have been a pick six on that one. Like the one where he ran it for it on the 4th down and 2, where he literally pumped the shit out of it to Chris Godwin. I'm like, oh, there you go. Oh no, he didn't. He's running for it. Holy shit. That was amazing. I was hyped on that play. I'm like, good. We won this game. We needed it. And then this happens. So I mean, I know all the trash talk and everything. No. Baker's trying to keep you in games. He's not losing you games. I'll say that. A lot of this has been coaching wise, not necessarily been player issues. Yeah, he's missed opportunities. I'll give him that. But that's not blatantly losing you the game. Interceptions, Winston intercepting, pick sixes. That's losing you the game blatantly. I can't blame Baker for some of these losses.
Right. No, I agree. I think we understand that there's certain limitations with Baker's game. Like we understand middle of the field throws, seeing certain things as far as crossers and overs are a weakness for him. Some downfield accuracy is an issue as well. We understand that. There's just certain.
I have to admit, it's getting better at it.
Well, I mean, but again, still, we just understand, there's some things that he's just not going to be able to overcome because of his size, and also just, that is what he is. Like you have to kind of scheme around that. And I think for the most part, they've done a good job of setting him up where he gets plays on the outside to show his arm strength on the out routes and stuff like that, timing throws, using the play action, which he is good at. So those things you have to continue to coach up and coach around and make him play to his strengths. So those are certain things. But yeah, yesterday I thought he was fine. And a lot of it is just going back to sequencing, like understanding what you have, how do you need to attack the defense and continue to do so. So those are things that have to continue to get better. One quick thing back to Todd Bowles. I want to talk about this as far as clock management. You can't take timeouts into the half. You just can't do it. Like we continue to do that. I don't care if you're not confident in your offense or what have you. This was not the game to do it because your offense was playing well. Like your offense was scoring points. You're up 17-7. Okay. You have an opportunity to get the ball back. You need to call your timeouts. You could have had at least the ball back with maybe 45, 50 seconds. That's enough time to at least get into field goal range.
46 seconds is enough to score a touchdown play.
Exactly. So there you go. And even and also another thing, like you had them at 3rd and 14 and you let them get a first down on a screen. Like nobody hustles, tries to get off the ball. Nobody tries to make a play. Devin White had a chance to make the tackle. He goes somewhere else to, takes a vacation on the play. And, guys just don't want to tackle the football carrier. And it's like, what are we doing? And then after that, you get them stopped on a 3rd and 20. You have them at 3rd and 20. You still refuse to take timeouts. Like that's a fireable offense as well. Like that's That's just not good. So yeah, it was a mess. So, you know, I'm with you as far as the positives. I do see some positives from this game, especially offensive side. I hope that continues. Hopefully that gets better. Hopefully Baker continues to be consistent, because I'm with you. I do like Baker. I don't know if he's the long-term answer. Um, I would like to have, more of an elite skill set at that position. I think he's good enough to help you win games. I just don't know if he's that guy to get you over the hump as far as in the playoffs and win Super Bowls. He's just not that guy that can take over games and make some elite throws when you need them. Like the throw to Chris Godwin where he just missed it. Like a quarterback makes an elite throw to get that ball to Chris Godwin. Like, there's certain things in that nature where he makes those plays. Like the play to Trey Palmer that got tipped at the last second. Like quarterback finds a way to throw that earlier, get it into Trey Palmer. It's just certain things that he just doesn't have. But I think if the team around him is good, I think he's solid enough to take you to a certain point in the season.
Yeah, I mean, with that, I'm always going to push back. I mean, people are going to say Jalen Hurts is elite. No, he's just got an amazing system around him. Yeah. I don't think Jalen Hurts is elite at all. I think his arm is as good as Baker's. I think he can run around a little bit, but he just has elite weapons on the outside, and his system knows how to use it. And he has probably the best offensive line in the game.
Yeah,
and they're touting him as the best player. I'm like, Patrick Mahomes has elite everything: the arm talent, elusiveness. Not necessarily fast. He just knows how to evade pressure and stay on his feet, balance, and just freaking a cannon attached to his arm. That is a freak. Other than him, there's not many crazy elite guys. Yeah, Joe Burrow is great with anticipation. That is an elite trait that he has. But, I mean, realistically, Trevor Lawrence has elite traits, but he's not playing elite right now. He's playing really good. Justin Herbert, another guy, elite traits. But is he playing elite? Like, can literally care. What is he doing right now? Let's see. What's the game? 17-6 against the Jets. I mean, what are we trying to say is elite? You got to have a good OC marriage with the quarterback. That's all it is, in my opinion. Yeah. And then the GM has to match it with what the head coach wants to run as a team. That's why it's a team damn game. Yes, you have the best quarterback in the world. He's probably going to be in the situation all the damn time, which he has been, Patrick Mahomes, because he has one great player in Travis Kelce. When he doesn't have him, he's a very average guy. So it's got to be a team game. And everyone just gets so in love with the quarterbacks that there's a first round quarterback gone every year. Like, oh, this is our guy until he's not. James Winston was first overall. Baker was first overall. Trevor Lawrence first overall. I mean, Deshaun Watson was to take over for Baker because he was the quarterback. Look what he's doing now. Well, you just tell me because of a towel he lost his potential? No. It was systems that were married to that quarterback that had him do well. Some guys are elite, some guys aren't. You can't just say this isn't the quarterback, this isn't him. Trask is better. What tells you that?
I would never. Yeah, I would never say Trask is better. There's a reason Trask is not playing right now.
I'm not trying to be a Baker fanboy, but I mean,
no, I understand your reason, and I agree with a lot of it. I think you need a good team around your quarterback for your quarterback to play at a level that I guess most would consider elite. So the only issue I have with Baker is just the inconsistency. With the missed throws, that it's the plays that you should make consistently that he struggles to make at times. And we've seen that so far this season. Now, yesterday, I thought it was his best game overall, top to bottom. So if you get that type of performance like he played yesterday, I think, you have something there. It's just the question, can he do that on a consistent basis moving forward? That remains to be seen. We just haven't seen it from him throughout his career.
Yeah, we haven't seen that from anyone on this whole team right now.
Yeah.
I mean, because I'll even say the point of anticipatory throws, he does make some damn good ones.
Right.
But then again, some of these balls that are slightly underthrown, you got to have your wide receiver come out and help you. I mean, A.J. Brown helps Jalen Hurts a shit ton. Like, there's how many damn times they're underthrown balls, but that guy goes up and makes it. Look at the Super Bowl case in point. No, there were not perfectly thrown balls. There were guys jumping up, and he comes down with it because he's that damn good of a player. That's why they went out and got him. Good team builder, giving a quarterback an option. We have a great options all around. Mike Evans isn't necessarily the best jump ball guy. He's more of a deep guy, and then he knows how to run routes really well. He's not a true jump ball guy. I just want to see things more married together with your offensive coordinator understanding how to use your guys and not to force things that aren't really there. Because your offensive line isn't the Eagles. Your offensive line is really good at pass blocking. It's not good at run blocking. So use what you got and then find your advantageous ways to run the ball. It's not, you can't just force it. I think he's learning it, running it 2 times in a row, especially after Rachaad White just ran for 40 damn yards.
I know. They keep giving him the ball.
Don't give him the damn ball again. He's out of breath.
Yeah.
Canales, would you want to do that yourself? Like, common sense. Like, some things are just common sense where.
Yeah.
But he did so good. He'll probably do it
again. Yeah. I mean, so again, that, the quarterback talk, that's going to be a big one, obviously, going into this offseason. Unfortunately, it's going to be discussed a lot. And that will probably just happen if this team continues to lose. You're going to be in a top 5 situation, potentially top 10 pick at least, especially with the quarterback class that is coming out. And if you do get a new coaching staff, they're going to want their guy, and maybe that's not a Baker Mayfield. Depending on cost, maybe you can bring Baker back on a 1-year deal again, but I doubt he wants to do that. And you probably want to go all in. You want to go all in on the rookie quarterback. So that is something that it's probably likely going to play out. But long way to go. We'll see how the rest of the season plays, but most of us can kind of see where this is heading. Unfortunately, it's not good. It's not good at all. As the team is pretty much crumbling, losing 4 in a row now, and now going into a game at home against the Tennessee Titans. Probably should win, but there's no guarantee with this football team right now. They just can't seem to put it all together. I love Michael Penix Jr. I think he'd be a great selection. Again, Tampa kid, hometown, doing some great things. Talk about elite traits. I mean, that guy has elite traits, elite arm talent, good release, left-handed as well, can move in the pocket. He's got a good potential. But we'll see. We have to see what this coaching staff is going to be, or what it's going to look like moving forward. But so what's next for us, guys? We're going to put out, probably a lot of film study, probably a lot of stuff on the defense. We'll do our best to get as much as possible out there. We're going to continue to break it down, even though I know it's hard to watch, but we appreciate all your support. Be sure to hit that like button. We, it really helps out the channel. We're trying to continue to grow this channel, get it up to, get the following going and get over 6,000 followers, which would be awesome. So hit that like button, comment down below your thoughts of this live stream. If there's anything you guys want to see moving forward on the lives, let us know. Subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. But other than that, I think that's going to do it for us. Again, we appreciate all the comments. I know a lot of negativity on tonight's pod, but we got to tell it like it is, right? That's why we're called Real Bucs Talk. We try to be, 100 with you guys all the time. So, Mark, any last thoughts before we head into a lot of film sessions coming up this week?
I mean, all we can do is learn from these negatives. Yeah. Hopefully fix them. Hopefully you have a coaching staff that can fix these things. And if it doesn't get fixed, you know what you need to do. That's all it is. I mean, there's a right and a wrong, right? If the issues get fixed up on defense, okay, then we know we got a guy that has potential that can fix things that are going forward. Offensively, you saw some improvement. Can they double down on that? Let's see, hopefully. But, I mean, this next game is the biggest thing for both Todd Bowles and Dave Canales.
Yeah.
Can Canales do it 2 times in a row? And can Todd Bowles fix what just looked like jack shit?
Yeah, it's the best way to put it.
And to be honest, it's the biggest game of the season because you're fired after that, pretty much. So
yeah, I mean, you get to 5 in a row as far as losses. You fall to 3 and 6. I don't care if you continue to say, well, we're only 2 games back in the division. No, it's over, baby. I mean, you can Mighty Ducks this thing all you want. I mean, it's over. It's over. Yeah, you're not winning. Great movie franchise, guys. Be sure to check that one out. Mighty Ducks. Go watch it. I'm still pissed they took off Game Changers on Disney Plus. That was a great show. That was the Mighty Ducks like little show that they had. Awesome. But anyway, I think that's going to do it for us. I am yeah, we're losing our minds here. So yeah, be sure to hit that like button, guys. We love all the support, all the comments, all the questions. Love seeing new faces in here. So be sure to check us out every Monday, 9:15 Eastern on the live. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So
Ducks fly together.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So with that said, see you on the next one.